everyone from my speech and communications class. I'm Haley Starkey, and my topic to you guys today for the persuasive speech is why blondes are not dumb. At the end of the speech, I hope that you guys understand that it's not really cool to make fun of blondes because of their hair, and everyone has silly moments. So imagine being assumed to be dumb for any little comment or thing you do, whether it's you just make a joke or you don't understand a joke. You just get criticized because you have blonde hair. And yes, it can be funny at times, but it does get old hearing it over and over again. So there's a stereotype claim that blondes are dumb or tend to have more common stupid moments, which is actually a false claim. So I have blonde hair, and I'm often made fun of, or people make comments about my blonde hair. However, I am a hardworking student. I always get A's and B's in all my classes, and I work 2 jobs. I go to school, I play volleyball. So I personally like to think that I break this stereotype. A one-sentence statement of mine is the stereotype of blondes being dumb is just untrue, and it's a false made-up statement. So media outlets such as movies and television really like to push this narrative of the dumb blonde stereotype. The movie Legally Blonde is a great example of this, and it actually breaks the stereotype, which is really nice. So it starts out with Elle Woods, who is this girl who just wants to go to Harvard Law School and be her best and prove everyone wrong that she's really smart, and her parents actually pay for her to get in there. So once she hears that, she completely knocks this narrative out where she's not this dumb blonde. She's going to be smart, and she's going to beat out all of her competitors. So she has a very peppy attitude towards the beginning of the movie, which makes her seem kind of ditzy, and which pushes this stereotype. And also however, she's extremely smart and hardworking. So she was able to actually prove this stereotype wrong. So Elle Woods was able to do this by graduating at the top of her class for Harvard Law School, which is extremely difficult, and she actually became a very successful lawyer, which is really exciting. And Elle's competition in the movie was this brunette-haired girl who's actually dated her ex-boyfriend, so that even drove her even more to prove this girl wrong and be the best that she could be. So according to Lizardi's research on the psychological effects of Elle's character in Legally Blonde, quote, moreover, the research indicates that Elle is presented as a female character who breaks the woman's stereotype under prejudice and discrimination, especially in Stanford Law School, end quote. So that goes back to just what I was saying, and even in the picture right there, you can see her stiff competition with a brunette-haired girl, so it just kind of pushed that narrative, blonde versus brunette, even more. And furthermore, a YouTube video about this movie actually discusses how Elle Woods was able to break the stigma around blondes being dumb by having the movie highlight her hard work in the classroom while she was never changing who she was. She stuck to herself. She still loved the color pink. She still had that peppy attitude, but she was able to prove everyone wrong. Being a dumb blonde is also a made-up stereotype. There is no fact that can back this up. Hair is just a superficial trait. Everyone just has a different color of it. So there's no correlation between hair color and intelligence. And there was a study conducted in order to determine which sex is more likely to follow the dumb blonde stereotype, meaning if males or females who would judge more based off the hair color. So the study used, quote, 150 subjects were presented with 5 photographs of equally physically attractive females whom they rated on each 5 characteristics if they are shy, aggressive, intelligent, popular, and temporal. And that was from the dumb blonde and temporal redhead. So that just kind of shows that they were actually not able to find a correlation between. So what they actually found was that the results of the same study, quote, determined males were more likely to stereotype dumb blondes, but women did not show this trait. So I guess males are more likely to point out dumb blondes or make fun of dumb blondes, and they did that with just females who were rated. So it might be just a sex thing. Maybe they're making fun of them, or maybe they're following the stereotype just because of masculinity kind of plays a role, because women were not found to have this trait. So, due to some women and men having their hair color blonde, which they're discriminated against, they may also lose out on certain opportunities, which is completely unfair. The study from the following article found that women use their hair to establish a group identity and to form everyday resistances from social norms established by the dominant culture, and that was from the Sociology of Hair, Hair Symbols Among College Students. And that just shows how unfair having blonde hair could be, even though there are many benefits as well, I guess. I mean, it's just a hair color, so. According to this article written by Hein, who's the author, research shows that stereotypes have an impact on hiring, promotions, and other social experiences, and this is actually due to the dumb blonde stereotype, because many employers could see blondes as being ditzy again, or like not smart, not able to do their job, when that is obviously just not the case. There is also, like I said, no evidence to back this up. It's just superficial. And lastly, the color of someone's hair does not determine their intellectual abilities or IQ. So hair is just a superficial trait in which people have, and there's no correlation between hair and intelligence, not in any of the studies that I've found, at least, that are out there. So with this being said, there's really nothing else. It's just who you're around, what motivates you to learn, how motivated are you, how hardworking you are in the classroom. So the study written in the article "Blondes Are Like So Totally Dumb" by the New York Post, white women with naturally blonde hair scored an average IQ score within 3 points of brunettes, redheads, and black-haired women. So within 3 points means lower, higher, or within. And so what this study found was, quote, "The results for blonde, white-haired men were also similar. They had IQs roughly equal to men with other hair colors," end quote. Same as women, there was no difference found between hair colors, which really pushes this false stereotype about blonde hair. So this study had 10,787 participants in it in order to study or try and find a correlation between hair color and a person's IQ score, and they weren't able to do it. So I personally think that's a pretty large sampling group compared to the last one, at least, that I said was 150. So you really get to understand how this could affect people's understanding of hair color and the stereotype around it. So the findings showed that hair color isn't statistically significant, as you can say with certainty that blondes are smarter than others. So blondes are not dumb because they have blonde hair. It is pushed by the media outlets. The claim is made up stereotype, and there is no real information to back this up. And hair color does not affect a person's intellectual capabilities. So if you're able to make it's really not cool to make comments on blondes or having dumb blonde moments. Just know that everyone has these moments, and it doesn't make blonde-haired people any less intelligent than others, or someone with different colored hair just like a brunette. Everyone has these moments. Some just get ridiculed more than others, obviously. So next time you try and make a blonde joke, just be aware of the facts and the studies that I gave in this speech, so that you understand how false of a claim it is, and there's really nothing to back it up. It's just, again, a stereotype that's made up. So thank you so much for listening.